Good morning, West Rocks. My name is Hannah Bosley. Today is Friday, March 13th, 2020, and it is a B-Day with Delta House eating first during the lunch block. Attention all members of West Rocks Panther News. Please report to room 188 with your lunch for an important meeting with Mr. Bradbury. And now to Mr. Reynolds.
All right. Good morning, West Rocks. As has become routine, let's start with our elbow bump. Morning, Hannah. Thank you.
Good
morning. First, today we have an extended homeroom and a 2-hour early dismissal. And as many of you probably know, it'll be the last day we're here at 81 West Rocks Road for the next 2 weeks. Then we're going to be learning from home. Before we talk about Chromebooks and your distance learning schedule, which is really the focus of today's, or the intent of today's extended homeroom, I want to share a few reasons not to panic about the coronavirus. I know there's a lot going on, and you probably have seen the news and social media, and people are really scared and nervous, and they're reacting. But before we just get into it, I want to share a couple things that really should make you kind of breathe a little bit easier and make us get through the day today and over the next few weeks and feel okay about it. First, we know what it is, and we are working as a society to address it. That includes sports. A lot of our sports are on hold in large gatherings. Schools, as you know, and even Broadway productions have shut down for a period of time because we know how to combat it. Then we know how to detect it. There are tests, as you probably know, and we know what causes and how to detect it. The situation in China, which is really where it started, is improving. If you check the statistics, and what is happening over there is actually on the uptick. And also people recover, which is happening globally. And finally, science is on it. If you didn't know, in just over 1 month, 164 articles could be accessed online to educate others on treatments, genetics, diagnosis, all of those things. Science is a wonderful thing, and everyone is working around the clock in order to make sure that we're getting better in combating the virus. So let's take a deep breath. Let's have a good day of learning today and prepare for our next 2 weeks and make them effective, important weeks of distance learning, because this will be the first time that we do it, and to be honest, many people across the country do it. So now let's talk about the Chromebooks. Students will get their Chromebook today, if you haven't already, get it in homeroom. I know you didn't have it the other day, and also get your case back. Now, it is our expectation over the last day or two, we took all of the serial numbers, which were on the back of your Chromebook, and it's our expectation that you bring those home with you today with your case, and your charger you'll get, and the power cord you'll get at the end of the day in homeroom, and you're going to bring both your case, your Chromebook, and your charger home with you. It's our expectation, just like you signed in the beginning of the year, that you take care of that Chromebook, that you charge it and utilize it so we can participate in distance learning. Also, during the day today in math classes, we are going to ask you to take a 4-question, just a minute survey. The link is located right on the home page, and it's 4 questions that we need during math class, beginning of math class, for every student to take, just so we can make sure we know who has access to technology, who has access to internet at home, who may struggle with that. So over the next week or so, we can support those families that need either additional access or internet. So that'll happen in classes. Again, it's our expectation that even though it's you're going to take it home and utilize it, that you take care of it just like you would take care of it every day. And that's why we gave you those Chromebook cases in the beginning of the year. Now, what are the next 2 weeks going to look like? Because today is the last day, and starting Monday, from the March 16th through Friday, March 27th, we will be participating and engaging in distance learning. Now, in order for those days to count, we need to make sure we can record attendance properly. We can submit assignments and also do some learning, whether that's direct instruction online, whether that's a discussion board. We need to ensure that both teachers are available to interact with kids and the kids are participating online. That way, near the end of the year, instead of just having to make up all of those days, we can reach out to the state of Connecticut and petition and see if these days, and make sure these days count. Because we want those to count, whereas instead of having it treat like snow days and go till June 30th. So we want to make sure everyone's engaging in that. Now, what is that going to look like, you ask? So today in homeroom, everybody is going to get 2 pieces of paper. 2 pieces of paper. One, you're going to get your matrix, your PowerSchool schedule matrix. And you're also going to get the paper that's called your distance learning schedule. In just a few minutes, your teacher, your homeroom teacher or teachers are going to walk you through what that distance learning schedule is going to look like. First, are we up? Okay. First, I want everybody to fill out the top part. Make sure your name is on it, your grade is on it, your house, and your homeroom teacher. This is so just in case at some point in the day today it falls out and you lose it, we know who doesn't have their handwritten schedule out before you go home. But it actually matches your PowerSchool schedule, so I bet you can figure it out regardless of what you have or don't. So once you've filled out the top part, I'm going to talk a little bit about what that schedule is going to look like. Okay? First, we have an A and a B day, just like we do here. So anytime there's an A day, you're going to report virtually to classes that are on your A day schedule, and that means going online and logging in through ClassLink. And anytime there's a B day, that will be your B day classes, and you're going to log on through ClassLink and your B day. Now we have 4 blocks, just like we do here. Okay, so we have an A and a B day, just like we do here, and we have 4 blocks like we do here, except our blocks are not 86 minutes long. In our distance learning, our block 1 is going to be 8 o'clock to 8:50. Our block 2 is going to be 9 o'clock till 9:50. Our block 3 is going to be 10 o'clock till 10:50. And our block 4 is from 11 o'clock to 11:50. So really, it's kind of like we have early dismissal every day, but we're in school and learning for the same amount of time as we would on a normal early dismissal day. So it's our job to log on to the computer and go through ClassLink and participate in any Google Classroom assignments, chat rooms, Google Docs, and or Google Hangouts, whatever is assigned by your teachers by those teachers in those blocks in those times, just so we can take attendance just like you would check in and we would take attendance at our school. So how you're going to fill this out so you know really where to go using your Chromebook at home. So what you're going to do with your teacher is fill out all of these blanks so you know exactly where to go. Now before we just start filling it out, what gets a little bit more complicated is what happens with your related arts classes. So you have your A and B day and you have your 4 blocks. Now if you have ELA or math, those happen, and if we have an ELA or math during block 1, you're going to fill those out first. So if I'm a student and I have English Language Arts block 1, I'm going to write down ELA, 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 because every day during block 1 from 8 to 8:50, I know I have English Language Arts with whatever Google Classroom that I need to access. If I have math block 2, then I'm going to write math, 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 math. And I know from 9 o'clock to 9:50, I have math every single day, just like I would here. Now, block 3, if I have a social studies and science and I alternate back and forth, that's where it gets a little bit different. So if I have science on my A day, I'd fill out block 3, A day, science. And if this is B day, I'm going to skip that. I'm going to write science here on my next A day. I'm then going to go back, because I probably have social studies opposite that, right? I'll then find my B day and fill out block 3, social studies. And then my block B day, block 3, social studies. So at that point, I know where I'm going for ELA every day from 8 to 8:50. I know I'm going for my math from 9 to 9:50. And then I know where I'm going either science or social studies, alternating from 10 to 10:50, if that happens to be my schedule. And you're going to refer to whatever it is in PowerSchool in your normal schedule to fill that out, which you're going to have right next to you. Now, finally, related arts. It gets a little complicated, but I bet you guys are smart and you can figure it out. First, we have odd days and even days. And that just means what periods meet. If it is an odd number and you have a related arts, that period, then whatever odd number it is, that's what you'll meet. For example, if it's an A day odd, and I only have my related arts to fill out, whatever I have period 7, I would put for related arts. And I know on A day odd, I only go to period 7, whatever my period 7 related arts, could be art, could be family consumer science, could be technology, could be library media, could be anything, right? Whatever you have in your schedule. And you're going to go there from 11 to 11:50. And if it's a B-Day odd, that means on B-Day period 7, whatever you have for related arts, could be PE, could be health, could be whatever you have period 7 on a B-Day, you would write here. And now what about the other related arts? You need to go there too. So on an A-Day even, whatever your related arts is, that would be your period 8, because 8 is an even number. So if I had whatever I have on A-Day, my odd period 7 up here, and then my period 8, I would write on A even period 8, I would write it in this blank. So whatever I have after period 7 on A-Day would follow period 8 on an even day. That could be art, like I said. It could be whatever you have in your schedule, which is right next to you. And then finally on a B even day, B even, period 8, because it's even, you would write that here. And that's right, that should follow whatever you have on a B day. You would have period 7 up here, and then period 8 would follow. So you would alternate that, and then the following day, we'd start right at the beginning, A-Day odd, and you'd follow that same schedule through. You have a complete schedule, and we are going to rotate all over here for our 10 days that right now we're out of school. We have 2 full weeks starting on Monday. So day 1 on Monday is an A-Day odd, and you're going to follow this schedule. You're going to log on from home using your Chromebook or your home device, and you're going to follow from 8 to 8:50. You're going to go to this block. 9 to 9:50, you're going to go to this block. 10 to 10:50, you're going to go to this block. And 11 to 11:50, you're going to go to this block, whatever you have written. Day 2 is going to be a B odd. Day 3 is going to be an A even. Day 4 is going to be an a B even. Day 5, guess what? We start all over again in our rotation, and we come back here on an A odd. And we go all the way down and continue to rotate all the way day 1 through day 10. And you're going to fill that out today in homeroom. And when you're done filling it out, you're actually going to slide it behind your Chromebook, in between your Chromebook and your Chromebook case before you zip it up, so you know it's safe, you know where it is, and you can take it home with you and know exactly where you're going every day. The district, along with probably the state of Connecticut, is going to assess where we are, whether or not we can return to school after March 27th. If it happens that they decide that we need to stay out a little bit longer than March 27th, we're going to continue in this rotation. On day 11 would be an A even, and then so on and so forth. And we'll be communicating. Your teachers will be able to communicate through Google Classroom. You're actually going to practice a little bit today in class, all of your classes. You're going to log on, make sure you see your Google Classroom code, make sure you can get on Class Link so you can take attendance and what you're participating in. You're even going to do some things virtually. A lot of teachers worked really hard over the last few days, especially yesterday, and learned about how to do Google Hangouts, or now Google Meets, with classes. They knew how to do chat rooms. They're exploring other ways to post and interact with students. And so you're going to practice those in your classes today, just to make sure you're all set for Monday and we can do and participate in our distance learning. Okay? If you have any questions about how to access that and what classroom and what Google Classroom code or any of those things, make sure you ask your teacher so they can give you the answer if it's specific to their class, or they can reach out to Ms. Amaral or myself if it's something school-wide, and we can make sure you get everything you need before you leave. Okay? You're going to be utilizing your Gmail account, your email account throughout the week. You can reach out to teachers, myself, Ms. Amaral, any other staff member to reach out for support. But you're going to utilize that email and that communication, and be posting on discussion boards and things along those lines, both during that time, those blocks of time, and outside of that, because learning never stops. So you're going to fill that out today in homeroom. I know I'm talking a lot. I'm almost done, I promise. But I want to make sure you have all that information before we go, and that's why we have our extended homeroom. Please be sure you're bringing everything home today. Okay? So, if you have a little extra time in homeroom and you want to gather your things, or before or after lunch, and you want to gather your belongings and make sure that you're organized when you visit your locker if you need to get it, just make sure you're all set. That way, at dismissal, we can grab our belongings. We have everything with us. Make sure you bring a book home. If you don't have a book at home, make sure you have an independent reading book. If you don't have one with you, or you aren't reading one, ask your ELA teacher for one, and they can get it out of the library, their classroom library if necessary. Everybody should be reading at least 20 minutes a day outside of this at home. Think about it. We have that would be like having an early dismissal every day at 12 o'clock. We have plenty of extra time for learning and practicing your instrument and all of those other things, including reading, Khan Academy, and all your extras. All right, I think that just about does it. Again, today, make sure you take your survey in math class. Make sure you fill out your distance learning. If you have any questions, ask your teacher so we can organize that and make sure we get that. And if you want these days to count and you want to continue our learning, we make sure we log in every day so we can take attendance appropriately. You're completing and submitting assignments on time. And let's take advantage of this. And hopefully, you're able to log on and there's no issues between now and March 27th. Again, if there's anything that changes between then, we'll figure it out. But have a good day, relax, take a deep breath, and make sure we get everything all set before we leave for 2 weeks. Thanks a lot. And remember, the P in pause is for positive interactions. Try to help a friend or teacher today, and have a great day.